संकीर्तन की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। Before we start the Srimad Bhagavatam, we'll do the prayer. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. We are reading from Canto 3, Chapter 22, text number 23. So, Canto 3 is the status quo. Chapter 22 is about marriage of Kardama Muni and Devahuti. And text number 23. Please repeat after me. Shatarupa Maharagi Parir Barhan Mahadhanan Dampatyoho Paryadat Pritya Bhushavasah Parichhadan Shatarupa Maharagi Paribarhan Mahadhanan Dampatyo Paryat Pritya Bhushavasah Parichhadan Shatarupa Maharagi Parirbarhan Mahadhanan Dampatyo Paryadat Pritya Bhushavasa Parichhadan Shatarupa Maharagi Paribarhan Mahadhanan Dampatyo Paryat Pritya Bhushavasah Parichhadan Shatarupa Maharagi Paribarhan Mahadhanan Dampatyo Paryadat Pritya Bhushavasa Parichhadan Shatarupa Maharagi Paribarhan Mahadhanan Dampatyo Paryat Pritya Bhushavasa Parichhadan Shatarupa Maharagi Paribarhan Mahadhanan Dampatyo Paryat Pritya Bhushavasa Parichhadan. Thank you. Mataji's. Shatarupa Maharagi Paribarhan Mahadanan Dampatyoha Paryadat Pritya Bhushavasa Parichada. Translation. Empress Shatarupa lovingly gave most valuable presents suitable for the occasion, such as jewelry, clothes, household articles, in dowry to the bride and bridegroom. Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The custom of giving one's daughter in charity with a dowry is still current in India. The gifts are given according to the position of the father of the bride. Paribarhan Mahan Dhanan means the dowry which must be awarded to the bridegroom at the time of marriage. Here, Mahadhanan means greatly valuable gifts befitting the dowry of an empress. The word Bhushavasah Parichadan also appears here. Bhusha means ornaments, Vasaha means clothings, and Parichadan means various household articles. All things befitting the marriage ceremony of an emperor's daughter were awarded to Kardama Muni, who was until now observing celibacy as a brahmachari. The bride, Devahuti, was very richly dressed with ornaments and clothings. In this way, Kardama Muni was married with full opulence to a qualified wife and was endowed with the necessary paraphernalia for household life. In the Vedic way, In the Vedic way of marriage, such a dowry is still given to the bridegroom by the father of the bride. Even in poverty-stricken India, there are marriages where hundreds and thousands of rupees are spent for a dowry. The dowry system is not illegal, as some have tried to prove. The dowry is a gift given to the daughter by the father to show goodwill, and it is compulsory. In rare cases where the father is completely unable to give a dowry, it is enjoined that he must at least give a fruit and a flower. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, God can also be pleased even by a fruit and a flower. When there is a financial inability and no question of accumulating a dowry by another means, one can give a fruit and flower for the satisfaction of the bridegroom. We'll do the Mangalacharan prayer and then we'll start the class. Please say with me. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Hare Nama Hare Nama Hare Namaiva Kevalam Kalau Nastyaiva 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 Gatiranyatha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. I seek my prayers and I seek blessings and my prayers to all the elders here, Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, so that may the right word under right circumstances in the right time comes out. I trust that potency of this Vyasasana will do that, but I seek blessings so that my attitude and my consciousness be pure and need your blessing for that. So please do bless me. Hare Krishna. So this chapter 22 is about the marriage of Kardama Muni and Devahuti. And this particular shloka, which is 23, is about how a Vedic marriage takes place and what are the do's and don'ts we should be doing. Before I go further, I just want to say that this particular canto number 3, starting from chapter 20 onwards, is an ideal chapter every woman should read. Starting from when they touch their puberty, when they are mature, they are growing, they should read this. And very detailedly they should read. They should not miss the purport, because we don't understand only by reading translation. We need some little bit of push. So definitely the shloka, the translation, and the purport. It's really good for the new girls, the teenager girls. Also, it's good for women like us who are already in the grahasthashram, who are doing our duties very diligently, but we also need some kind of buffer. We also need some kind of charging. So these chapters are very good for us to deal our regular day-to-day life hold duties. People who are new in Krishna consciousness, who have so many questions that how should a woman behave, feminism, feminist, feminine, and all those aspects. If you read one time, you don't understand, it's my personal opinion. You read it again, you'll understand it more. You read it again, you'll get some other essence of it. But this, I understood from my experience, this is really a very good pastimes, and how to understand the femininity, how to understand the role of a woman in a society. And particularly this shloka is talking about dowry. Dowry system in India is really a very gross problem, because as Prabhupada is also mentioning that it is not illegal. Why is he mentioning? Because there are some group of people who has said, oh, dowry is a torture to girl's parent. That's what dowry is. Because it's a torture, it's illegal. But see, this is our senses, right? We understand from our senses, which is limited. But Prabhupada is very clearly saying this. Dowry is not illegal. Rather, it is something which every parent should give when their daughter is getting wed. Now, according to their parents' ability, according to their parents' love, when I come to your place, would you push me that you should bring sweet, you should bring a cloth, you should bring this? You don't, right? I will come and I will bring my gifts as per my choice, as per my desire, as per my ability. And then you will accept it. It's the same way a dowry is given. When a daughter is going to some other family, the father, out of compassion, out of love, thinks, oh, my daughter is going to another family, I should give her favorite clothes, I should give her favorite jewelries, I should give her favorite, toys for that sense, or utensils. Whatever she likes, I will give. Because if she likes these things, she'll definitely use it in a proper way. She'll definitely make advancement using those utensils or jewelries or clothes in the next family. So it's not a push, but it's a necessity. It's an etiquette. And in India, what's happening is people are actually getting tortured, especially in South India. As soon as a girl child is born, people start thinking, oh, what should I give? Okay, every month, every year, as per their capacity, they start accumulating things. They start accumulating golds and valuable jewelries only for the dowry. Sometimes I feel that isn't it too much? It's a girl child, she's born in the family. Let her live, because the moment you think, oh, she's a girl, I need to make this jewelry for her. Okay, this year I'm making this jewelry, that year another jewelry. My consciousness as a parent to raise that child changes completely. It changes because I'm thinking her as a liability. I'm not thinking her as an asset to me. Because today, if that child, my daughter, if she is my asset, I will nurture her, I will give her the love, which she will then transfer it to the next family. She will then give that love, she will then give that education, that intelligence to her next generation. We often talk about femininity. I have spoken to so many youth, and all those girls, they don't want to get married. I say, why you don't want to get married? Because I remember there's a very funny joke when Srila Prabhupada said, I want all the girls in my movement to be married, and I want all the boys in my movement to be brahmachari. And all the grahasthas say, oh Prabhupada, how can you say that? If all the boys are getting brahmacharis, and if girls need to get married, they need a suitable suitor, right? So Prabhupada just laughed. It was a joke, but that's what his consciousness was. There are different kinds of celibacy. There are different kinds of following brahmacharya ashram. One who follow brahmacharitva up till a certain age, which I think it's 25 years of age, that is a different kind of celibacy. Naishtika brahmachari is one who follows from the day he is like born and understood the consciousness till never ending. That's Naishtika brahmachari. So there are these two aspects, and if we look at these two aspects, and if we understand what Srila Prabhupada has said, then we can understand that yes, Srila Prabhupada wanted the boys in the movement to follow this celibacy, to follow this brahmacharitva up till certain age. So what happens till age of 25? That the boy child nurtures in his mind is about his duty, religion. Now what is religion? Religion is not just Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai. Religion is understanding your dharma. Religion is understanding your duty. Excuse me. So for a woman, the religion is different. For a man, a religion is different. For a boy like this little boy who has just repeated the shloka, thank you very much. For a boy, the religion is different. The duty is different. His duty is to obey his parents, to give respect to his elders, listen to his teachers, and just follow his parents, because parents are the first guru. Whereas another child who is way older than him, his obligation, he has some obligation. His obligations are also the same as this little child, but he becomes a little bit responsible. His ownership grows. He's not just working on listening to parents, listening to this, listening to that. Respect is there, should be there, and all the time, in all the age, respect should be there. But his giving up back to the society is more than this little child. Then when he grows bigger, and then when he finishes his education, how he sees and what he gives to the society is what is also included in brahmacharitva. And then as a family, all of us, all the grahastha, we should also take care that our brahmacharis in the temple or our boys who are growing in the congregation are nurtured well. We should not like see them as our future boys or as our future some of like family members. We should see them as one of the Prabhupada's children. And if that's what our mentality and if that's what our attitude is, we'll definitely grow not as a family, not as an individual, but as a Prabhupada's family. Coming back to girls, when girls come to a certain age where she is called a woman, like a teenage age, that's where we should be able to give them that love, that assurance, that confidence, that comfortability, that wherever you go, whatever you do, you should do as per the Shastric injunctions, and we are always there with you. How we should do that? By constant talking about what our past leaders have done, their stories. Like we say that Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a huge series of Srimad Bhagavatam books, maybe this much. Or when we read it, when we discuss it, it's not just the philosophy, it's also how the application has happened to the other people. And that's what we read, the stories. The stories helps us to dilute it into our life. The stories helps us to accept the philosophy. Otherwise, if you only talk about philosophy, it's hard. It's very dry for us, because in the material world where we are living, it's all about do and don'ts. It's all about you give me this, I'll give you that. So it's very hard to keep a balance with the philosophical aspects and with the practical aspects what we are living in. So that's why we need to hear these stories. We see that, oh, they have done that. It means it can be achievable. We may not have, or we may not do exactly what they have done, but this is what the etiquettes and this is what the standards are. If we understand through the stories, then it becomes easy for us to take it. So when a woman is taken as a liability, it becomes a pressure, it becomes a command that my son, I'm giving my son in marriage, having your daughter as my daughter-in-law. So that kind of an attitude comes up. Whereas if we take women as a power, as an energy, then we don't have that command and pressure on the society. Basically, dowry is a word taken in a negative sense, but dowry is basically, as per the Vedic injunction, it's the stri dhan. Stri, a woman, dhan means treasury or money. So when a father has a certain amount of wealth, the father divides the wealth as per the number of children he has. Whether it's a boy or a girl, there's no mention like that. It's divided as per the number of children. Now when the girl gets married to another family, it's up to her whether she wants to take that wealth or she doesn't want to take that wealth. There's no push. There's no force that you have to take it. And this stridhan is actually used for the welfare of that woman. So for God's sake, if the woman is in a condition where she has lost all the male figures in her family, that's when this stridhan comes in. So this stridhan is not like, okay, father has given the wealth to the girl child. Once she gets married, the husband thinks, oh, I need that money, I will use it. You are allowed to use it, but as per the Shastra says that you use it and then you replace it back. You replace it back and you keep it as, like how we say it, fixed deposit. You keep it safe for those circumstances, those time when the woman is all alone, when she needs. Because when there is no man in the family, the woman seek a shelter. And when a woman seeks a shelter, she most commonly she gets manipulated. And that's where the stridhan comes. The Shastra says this is where the woman utilizes her stridhan. In olden days, we have seen there was swayamvar. Even during swayamvar, it was not a generic practice. It was only when father feels confident that the daughter is intelligent enough to choose her husband, then the father used to arrange a swayamvar. People often ask that why swayamvar is not practiced in today's world. Because we don't have that much of intelligence. And forget about the parents, even the child is not known that which husband she wants to choose from. And just imagine if there are 10 men standing and a woman taking a garland and she puts her desired husband, she puts the garland on him. It's kind of an insult to the other rest 9. And in today's society, I don't think so we take it positively. Even in like olden days, swayamvar have raised to so many animosity in the family. So that's the reason swayamvar is not that common. But nevertheless, when father thinks that daughter is intelligent enough, father asks the daughter that which kind of a husband would you like? And if the daughter already has someone in mind, she says to her father that this is the man I like to be with. So that's that comes only when you're confident and comfortable in that father and daughter relationship. A woman is treated in 4 different ways. The one is Ardhangini. With her husband, she is half of her husband. Ardha means half. Ardha Angini means body. Half of her body. A woman is called Ardhangini. Saha Dharmini. Saha means together. Dharma means our religion, our duties. A woman participates in all those dharmas, in all those duties what a man is doing. Mostly in our ashram, like brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. Among those 4, the main is the grahastha. Main in the sense, the grahastha is the working class of group of people who earn money, who earn not only for their own take care and welfare, they also earn money for the rest 3 ashrams, like brahmachari, vanaprastha, and sannyas. Because at this 3 stage, they are not earning money, they are distributing the scripture, they are distributing the knowledge, the Vedas. And who are helping them? Grihasthas are helping them. Mostly in today's world, we fight with ourselves. Oh, I don't have time to read. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do the devotional service. What I think is, as long as we are able to connect with the Lord in any of our duties we are doing, raising a child or going out of the house to earn, as long as we are able to connect with the divine, that grihastha ashram is okay to continue, because whatever we are earning, we are giving a part of it to the temple, to run the temple's programs, the activities. And on the same hand, what's happening, the brahmacharis are also getting some help, some financial help. And on the down, which is hardly maintained nowadays, vanaprastha. And then at the end, sannyasa. So where is this money coming from? The grihastha. That's where saha dharmini, the woman, helps the husband in the activity. I just remember one thing. When the story of Kardama Muni and Devahuti was told by one of the Maharaj, and his disciple just asked, what did Devahuti did? Like it's the early stage, but later on in the story, Devahuti also get lots of sukriti. So the disciple asks his Guru Maharaj, what did Devahuti did that she got so much of blessings? No, she didn't do anything. She didn't sit on one place and did tapasya. But she also got the blessings. How? She didn't do anything. So his Gurudev said to him that because she was helping her husband, she didn't give hard time to her husband when her husband was actually in the austerity. Her husband, which is here Kardama Muni, who has gone through 10,000 years of tapasya, even after marriage, he goes, I guess, quite a good number of years in tapasya. And during that tapasya, Devahuti didn't disturb him. Devahuti didn't come and ask for this and that. She just kept on taking care of the ashram, and that's it. That is sahadharmini. When you help in your husband's activity, the dharma of your husband, that is sahadharmini. The third one is sahakarmini. Karma means action, saha means together. So sahakarmini, when a husband does any work, an activity, the woman also helps. Like there's a pastime in Ramayana when Sri Ram was given the order by Mata Kaikeyi that go and exile. So he takes out all his ornaments, everything. There's nothing left in his body, only I think one thread and the yellow clothes. And obviously bow and arrow. As a Kshatriya, he has to carry those. So when he wants to cross that river, and when there was this boatman who helped him cross the river, there's a good pastime, but again, making it short, when he helped him cross the river, Sri Ram wanted to give something desperately. So his face was looking for something. Sita understood that. And quickly from her bag, she takes the ring and she pushes from behind. So Sri Ram was standing like this and she just pushes. Take it, give it, you want to give it. So they didn't talk, but she understood. Karma, action. Sri Rama's action was supported by Sita Mata. See, like that. And when he got the ring, thank God, I got the ring. And then he gives the ring to that boatman. Obviously, boatman doesn't take, but there's another pastime. But what I'm trying to tell here is action. We need to understand our husband's action. I'm saying that. I'm horrible in it. But here, what sahakarmini means. When husband says something, you understand because it's word. There are some times when husband doesn't say anything, but the eyes are saying a lot of things. You need to understand. Sahakarmini. That's what sahakarmini is. A woman is comprised of all these 4 aspects. And then the last is sahayogini. When the major cooperation, when a husband's work is being cooperated by a woman, by his wife, that's where sahayogini comes. Yogini. You connect. And mostly here the connection is, the purport is talking about connection between Lord and the work, whatever you're doing, whatever, because we are not in a very idealistic world. We have to do certain type of works which are not so ethical, which are ethical, but connecting these two, when a wife does that, that is sahayogini. So comprising of these 4 categories, a woman is considered as an energy. Not just a woman because woman she is. No. She has these 4 aspects. And these 4 aspects only happens when she is married. And that's why Srila Prabhupada was saying, I want all the girls in my family to be married. Because that's where all these 4 categories come up. It sprouts. With the help of her husband. Definitely she helps her husband in his focus. And as the same result, she also gets the part of the Sukriti. Nowadays, people talk about, feminism, femininity. But whenever we talk about feminism, you know what? I just came to know that femininity reduces. What is femininity? Femininity is nothing but love. The woman has a capacity to take love and give love. She is designed to give love, nurture the next generation, educate them so that they can be either a powerful leader or a nurturer or someone who can take care of the society. She has that capacity. So when we talk about femininity, this is the main great aspect we don't talk about, because feminism is all about competition between men and women. This industrial revolution has made women in a competitive platform. She's always trying to prove herself. When she goes out in the corporate world or outside in the industrial revolutionary world, she's always trying to compete. I'm better than a man. In olden Vedic life, there was no question of competition. Everyone has their own aspects. Everyone had their own set duties, do's and don'ts, religion, dharma. But nowadays, we are forgetting about it. Nowadays, what we are doing is we are taking care of feminism. What is it? Feminism, femininity. Feminism. And that's where the girls are coming up with this idea that I don't want to get married because as a woman I will be dominated or things like that. I don't know where does this thought comes into their mind, but this is where I have heard that when you talk too much about this is a feminist country, this is a feminist this is a feminist that, you're actually losing the major aspect of femininity. And that's this love, because love cannot stay when there is a competition. Men was never pushed to compete with a woman, and a woman was never pushed to compete with a man. Rather, they were taught to work in a synergy, to work in a harmony. or we've lost those harmony, we've lost those synergies, because we haven't understood the right aspects of these two concepts. We just get lost in the words and word jugglery. The main how this transformation has happened into our society is the media. When media comes up, the great leaders, they take the help of media and they sabotage the whole idea of these two aspects, the platforms where we stand. And they make it very unnatural. It's not needed, it's not necessary. I understand in today's life, both men and women need to work. So we all are working. But we can still be working. We can still be working in hand with a man. We don't have to compete against a man. When someone says that, the CEO is a woman, someone makes a good comment on it. Someone makes a very dominating comment on it. A woman in a CEO position, she cannot take care of it. But we don't have to prove. There are people who say, look, Indira Nori, she was a CEO of PepsiCo, but we don't have to prove that. We do it as a part of our duty, done and dusted. But people take and media make it a major issue that this is how women is in today's society. This is how women should be. And that's where most of the girls, because we follow the leaders. Whatever the leaders do, we follow it. And even though the leader doesn't have that aspect of that competition, the media makes it. The media highlights it. And the girls like us, we think that, this is how we should think. This is how we should behave. And that's where we lose the essence of it. And that's why reading scriptures and understanding Vedas, to my understanding, is very important. To my experience, I have gained a lot of energy, a lot of good energy from just by attending Srimad Bhagavatam classes. So whole week, I will be dragging myself, my whole energy is lost. At the end of the day, when I reach home, there's not a zeal left in my body to do anything. But I just wait for Saturdays or Sundays where I can come here, sit here, and just sit here, do nothing. Sometimes listening to Srimad Bhagavatam classes is like your dead battery is getting charged. You're getting charged. It's really nice to see the deities. Just stand in front of the deities and admire how the beautiful garlands is, how the garlands are matching with the dress. Today is yellow and orange. The garlands are pink, peach, orange, white. So when you dive into it, you'll get the understanding of, as per the time, place, circumstances, you will get the understanding of what to do, when to do, what not to do. And then most of the time, as per my experience, I get the idea of you should listen to Srimad Bhagavatam classes. And it's really helped. So, in today's world, we often get into the dilemma of whether, we should do this as a woman, as a wife, whether we should follow it. So see the character of Devahuti here. She was a princess. She was raised in a palace. She had her own separate palace. That's the place, but she has her own maidservants. She wasn't doing anything. She was only trying to connect with herself. And when she was in an age, when she was ready to get married, her father comes to her saying, "Daughter, you're ready for marriage. Do you have anyone in your mind so that I can talk to?" So in today's world, we say a Brahmin should get married to a Brahmin. On what basis we say that? Do we really understand what's the mentality of the daughter is? Is she a real Brahmin, or is she a real, warrior, an administrator? How do we understand that? Father understands it. But when we say a Brahmin should get married to a Brahmin, a Kshatriya should get married to a Kshatriya, it's the nature, it's the attitude of the girl and a boy. It's not the surnames. Like in India we say, the surname should match, not match like word to word. The caste should match. It's the attitude and nature should match, not the casteism. Caste has been introduced in the society to have the proper understanding of the administration. Who can go well? Who can fit well in which kind of group of people? But again, over the period of time, due to the invasion and influence of Mughal and British, the whole culture, the whole tradition has been dovetailed as per their understanding. And because there was a huge gap between this knowledge. So like my grandfather's time, when there was a division in India, like in north and in east, obviously there was a huge gap. My grandfather couldn't get all the knowledge from his father because they had to leave their houses, they had to leave for their life, they have to run for their life. So there was a big gap. Next, when the next generation comes in, they just followed, this is what I think, I should do it, I don't know the backup. So there was no backup, there was no shastric backup to any of their do's and don'ts. So next generation is my parents' generation. They also don't have the right knowledge, the right, injunctions, why we should do that, why we shouldn't do that. They taught us. And in our generation, if people are like me, rebellious, who don't want to listen to their parents, why? Because they don't give the right understanding. My father said, this is Shuchi, this is Muchi. I said, why are you using these Shuchi, Muchi? What is this for? He couldn't explain it to me. When I came here, when I read Srila Prabhupada's book, then I understood, there is a reason, there's a scientific reason to each and everything. My father used to say, you should not put your head in the south when you're sleeping. Why? He couldn't answer me that, because he didn't know the answer. That's where the gap was. And Srila Prabhupada is mending this gap, you see. Srila Prabhupada has given all... Actually, my questions' answers were all fulfilled by Srila Prabhupada's book. I understood why we should not put our head towards the south. Because there's the South Pole and North Pole, there's the magnetic thing coming. Also in the middle, there's the equator. So there are some scientific reasons which I also didn't understand. But it has a reason behind it. So when you put this Shastric injunction to the rules, to the rituals, what you're doing, the generation accepts it. That's where the intelligence comes. And that's when tomorrow if I say to any of the girls that don't do this, don't do that, they will know whether I'm saying the right thing or right not. And this is what happened in this is what happened in India. Due to the Mughal invasion, due to the British invasion, whatever they made us to believe, we believed it because we didn't know the right way. We didn't have enough intelligence to follow them. We just followed blindly. And as a result, all these, sati pratha, bal vivah, then this dowry system has been manipulated. It has been given a very negative meaning to it. It's force, push, torture. It's not that. Sati pratha was never a torture. It's as per the woman's desire it's the love for her husband, but that has been made forcefully, which made it a torture. Caste system, it's a torture, but it wasn't that torture. As per the Vedas, it wasn't given like that harshly. The Shudras should not enter the temple. It's not the person, it's not the... Don't take it personally as we say, right? Don't take it personally. So it's not the person itself, it's the mentality. If you have a Shudra's mentality, you should not enter the temple. That's what the Vedas says. The Vedas is trying to help us understand this caste system as per our maturity, as per our thinking, as per our attitude. But we have taken it in a wrong sense and manipulated in a wrong way. That's where the torture comes. It's the same way this dowry system has been also taken in a wrong way. Gifts has been forcefully made and charity has been commanded on. The social trend has completely changed. It's not on the Vedic injunctions. When we understand the Vedic injunctions, we then follow these social trends as per they are. The focus of nuclear family, like people, the boys, they study with their family, but then they leave home to earn more. And the nuclear family, which is sprouting nowadays, that's also another reason of losing the knowledge, the Vedic knowledge, because we don't have any more our grandfathers, grandparents to give us the stories. And as a working class parent, we don't have time to even sit with our children to tell them the stories. Also, sometimes we also don't know the stories, right? So what I understood and what I experienced from reading Srimad Bhagavatam is I got a lot of stories to tell to my children. And when I used to tell them, now they are old, they won't even sit next to me. They have got so much of studies to do. But I hope whatever time I have spent with them, they are going to utilize it. When I used to take scripture classes in school, I never thought about the philosophy because it's too hard for kids. Their concentration span is so short that they won't sit if you talk about philosophy. I used to tell them stories, and I used to get shocked by seeing them that stories are so powerful. I'm just telling a small, short story, but it is so powerful. They are just stuck sitting on. And I used to get more energetic by looking at them that they are listening to these stories. And my stories, the way of reciting the story used to become more good. Just by looking at, this is how Radha Krishna's love. You love, you get love. You love more, you get more love. This is reciprocation, makes it more opulent. Does anyone has anything to add on before I end the class? I might have missed something. Yes.
लव मैरिज हो गए।
हाँ।
कुछ लोगों के बोलते इतने छोटा में शादी करा, अभी तक भी आप लोग अच्छा है। हम लोग के इतना लव मैरिज करके भी 1 year में 2 years में हम लोग सेपरेट हो गया।
हाँ।
तब इसके कौन सा मैरिज में कौन से बोलते वैसे के कुछ नहीं है ना। जैसे हम लोग के रिलीजन से होते वैसे हो गए कि
करेक्ट
पेरेंट्स से हो गए।
करेक्ट।
और बड़ा अच्छा है, कुछ भी मालूम नहीं होते हैं ना।
या ट्रू।
अभी लड़की लोग के मेरा पढ़ाई होना चाहिए, पढ़ाई के फिर घर लेना चाहिए, फिर शादी को
नेवर एंडिंग
24 25
हाँ
उतना के भी नहीं होते, कुछ नहीं कर पाते, फिर एज हो जाते हैं, फिर हस्बैंड के रहते हैं 30 years के ऊपर, दोनों के भी मैच हुए थे, फिर फैमिली बचा के फिर घर के फिर पेमेंट करने के फिर ऐसे हो गए ना। अभी तो काफी डिफरेंट हो गया। प्रभुपाद लिखे वाला में दहेज लेने के भी अच्छा है, लड़की के देना चाहिए, वो प्रभु अच्छा देना चाहिए। लड़की काली आते बेचना के नहीं है ना।
करेक्ट। हाँ
अपना तरफ से, लेकिन अभी उसमें वैसे है कि इतना देने के
हाँ
घर देने के
हाँ हाँ
उसमें झगड़ा होते हैं ना।
हाँ
ऐसे हो जाते हैं ना।
I remember one of the past times when there was a marriage, what do you call that, transaction happening, and the girl was getting married. So the father of the girl gave, scooter, scooter as a dowry. Well, you know what? He just paid the down payment. The rest of the EMI has to be paid by the boy after the marriage. There's just some funny things happen. For the pleasure of the people who are listening through the media, what Mataji was saying is, even the Bal Vivada, when the child is getting married at an early age, or as per the religious marriage, or as per the love marriage for that sake, the separation is getting too high in society. Girls, boys, they are getting separated. Someone told me long ago, it's because of lack of tolerance. There's no tolerance between men and women. And again, here media also comes 50% and 50%. Well, that's what I was being told, that tolerance has reduced in the couple. So forget about husband-wife. Even brother-sister relationship hasn't stayed that long. I don't talk to my brother. Oh, he's horrible. He doesn't listen to me. I don't talk to him. See, even sister-sisters relationships has been, there's no tangibility left. It's all going. So obviously husband-wife relationship is also one of those category. We lose patience, we lose tolerance. We can't handle a particular type of, behavior, so we leave it. I was just hearing one of the great counselors lecture, and he was saying, it was kind of a joke. He said that, so the woman came, the couple is going through separation. So woman came separately, she had her say, she had her talk. The man came separately, he had his talk. So the doctor, he's a counselor. He's saying, what's the matter? Why do you want to get separated? The lady said, I can't stand him because he pressed the toothpaste from the middle. And he said, for God's sake, I'm going to give you another toothpaste, but don't leave just for the sake. No, he doesn't know how to live a life. So tolerance. Whether it's a love marriage or a religious marriage, we understand each other only when we are living together. And when we live together, and then we realize, this person is, I thought about this person like this, like that. And then we separate. Sometimes I have seen it's very hard for a woman to stay in that relationship. That's why she separates. Sometimes due to the force, she had to leave. There are different aspects, and it's very broad topic to debate on. It's a very broad aspect of the society, what we are talking about. And I mean, this half an hour or 1 hour talk is not enough. It's like I'm pushing and reducing my talk in one, as if I am a knower of everything. But whatever I have heard from different classes, different lectures, different disclosures, that's what I'm sharing with you all. Trying to be a good copying. So like, in Hindi we say, nakal ke liye bhi akal honi chahiye. So a speaker who sits in front of you all is actually copying and pasting it here. So that's what I was asking for, the right attitude. This is what my prayers to you all, and I seek blessing that I don't talk what I think. I should be talking what I have heard. I should be talking what I have, heard in the disclosures in the different classes. That will make me or anyone who is sitting on this Vyasasana an okay speaker. So we are at a very, very infinite stage. We are still growing. So we just copy and paste it. So I would be a good speaker if I'm copying properly and pasting it properly here. Anything else?
I'd like to add.
Yes, please.
First of all, it's a really inspiring talk, and this is the first time we're attending.
Oh, Jay, thank you. Thank you for coming.
So just circling back to the Shudras.
Yes.
My understanding is that the caste system at that time was actually based on the occupation.
Correct.
Not really maybe not the mentality as such. It's just that if you are doing a cleaner's job, you rather go back and clean yourself and then attend.
Correct.
The cleansed temple already.
Correct.
So the idea was to just do your occupation to your best.
Yes.
And it's not about segregating that caste for not attending.
Definitely not. Yeah.
But actually just following that, the cleanliness and
right.
the poisonous of the
Correct.
temple itself.
Correct. There are some etiquettes to enter the temple. You should be cleaned. Of course.
Yeah. So once you're clean yourself, you even as a cleaner can.
Of course.
back in a tent,
Of
but-
course.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, as I said, in this 40 minutes it's very hard, so I've just touched on a few points. I haven't elaborated it properly, but yes, as you very well said, Shudras is not the occupation exactly what you're doing, is also the mentality. So there's another story with this one in Ramayana where one of the citizens comes to Sri Ram when Sri Ram was on throne, and he said, "You are not doing your right job." See the audacity, see the power of a single citizen. He comes in front of the king and saying, "You are not doing your right job because my son has dead. My son is dead in not a proper timing." So, young boy dying in a kingdom, there's something going wrong. So Sri Ram got up and he goes out on his round, and there he sees Shudras doing penance. So he was upside down and he was doing penance, and at the